In our earlier video of Saturn transiting through the nakshatra of Purva Bhadrapada, we have already covered which padas, which houses Saturn will be moving through, connecting it to the Navamsa positions and connecting to it the finer positions or finer dissemination of placements in the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. This is a video that I am doing more about the significations, about the predictions specifically connected to the area of the house on request, because the last video was more about what significations it is going to be activate rather than the actual predictions. Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list. Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. In the last video that we covered of Saturn's transit through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, we covered how Saturn will be transiting through the different padas within the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, activating the specific Navamsas of Aries, Taurus, Gemini and then Cancer, starting from April 6th this year until end of April next year. That video was more about how the transit of Saturn is going to happen and which houses it will activate, what significations it will activate. I didn't go too much into details about what significations, what areas and what predictions may come by, what results may come by. Because my thought was that if I tell you what significations or it is activating, which houses it will be activating, because you must have gone through hundreds of videos of mine so far, you would already know. However, there was a request from at least 4-5 people asking me to give specific predictions of Saturn going through a particular trajectory for your respective rising sign. Now let me tell you, these are generic predictions. Even when I give you specific results or potential results which may come by for you, it will more so depend on what are your actual placements for a specific rising sign in your respective horoscope. Which means for each rising sign, you may not get exactly as it will be predicted in this video, but you may also get very different results because your placements in your horoscope are different. Your dasha period is also different. Maybe you're going through a Sadesati. Maybe you're going through a much better transit which is happening in your horoscope, in your natal placement of your planet. So let's jump in and see how Saturn's trajectory to different rising sign, specifically connected to Saturn's transition through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, will bring at different results, different potentialities for each rising sign separately. Now, firstly, as I have said in my earlier video, also the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra being a nakshatra of Artha, so the Artha Bhavas, which means the material houses, which is the second house, the sixth house, and the 10th house will be activated. So money, career, service, these will be accentuated. Secondly, whichever signs Saturn will be transiting through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is Aries sign, Cancer sign, Gemini and Cancer sign will also be activated. So what it means for Aries rising sign people, because Saturn will be aspecting your Lagna, which means results of status in society, your standing in society will be connected to your service. However, because Ketu is transiting through your 6th house of service and Saturn rules your 10th house, which means this is a period of more stability. And my suggestion to you would be, don't try any adventurous things or adventurous actions from April this year to next year unless you're absolutely sure of the new change in job, change in service. Don't go only for money perspective, that I'm getting a raise, I'm getting a rise, so let me move in my career. So keep that in mind. Secondly, don't move only for the purpose of money, or don't let only money be the focus through this year, because Saturn is aspecting its debilitation sign in the Lagna, which means you should hold on to the stability wherever you are rather than taking too many huge risks. So firstly, because money signs or money houses are getting activated, Taurus, Then the sixth house, which is another Artha Bhav, the material house, and Saturn's own house, which means service is going to get activated, which means Saturn is asking you to remain stable in your service during this period and keep a hold on your spending. Jupiter going into Taurus sign will activate higher money spending as well as earning, especially with Rahu being in the 12th house. Spending is also getting activated. So be a little careful how when Saturn transits through the Aries sign, status in society is going to get affected. So try and keep stability then. When Saturn transits through your Taurus sign, try and keep stability on the money. Money may be affected, higher spending may be occurring. There will also be a small chance of also getting a good opportunity of getting higher money, but it's not going to be a huge opportunity. So be very sure before you take it. Then when Saturn transits through your Gemini sign in the Navamsa, which means that your third house of self-enterprise is getting activated. However, take only those projects on hand which you can do very well. Otherwise, you will ending up spending too much effort rather than getting very good results. Now, for Taurus rising sign people, Jupiter will be transiting through your Lagna, which means it is enhancing your capability of adding better luck, better results where your standing in society is concerned, status in society is concerned, health is concerned, earning more money is concerned. Also, more learning activities are also all getting activated. So there may be new learning opportunities coming by. There may be new opportunities given to you, asking you whether you want to take up these projects or not. And this will be more in terms of being somebody who is a competent expert, as the organization will be seeing or the department will be seeing you. Especially because Saturn will be transiting through your 10th house itself while aspecting your 12th house and Aries sign, where it will be first transiting through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which means that if you have not put in good effort and you have not really sustained over a period of time, at least a year, going abroad or working for foreign companies or getting a rise in foreign companies or doing well, like a promotion in foreign companies, MNCs, will be tough this year. It may not come easy unless you really worked hard over the last 1 year. And because the Artha Bhavas are getting activated, the second house, the 6th house and the 10th house. So Saturn is giving you an opportunity that in your service you may do very well and you will be seen as somebody who is very stable. And that way you may definitely be given an opportunity where you can showcase your talent. However, this is also a period where stability will be granted to you rather than higher raise or higher promotion. However, whatever you do through this 1 year, you will see that the stable results will continue for many years, at least 4-5 years also. So be very careful of what decisions you take in terms of career, in terms of going for an opportunity just because you're getting higher money. So be very careful here. Jupiter in the Lagna surely will be more protective of you. However, be careful of how you eat, what your eating habits are, because some of you may put on more weight also this year. Some of you may become more lethargic. Some of you may not focus too much on health. So health is under the focus, career is under the focus, foreign service, foreign lances are getting under the focus. Some opportunities are coming, but also opportunities may not be great. So my advice to Taurus rising sign people will be to focus on the stability and also take up a project which is granting you long-term stability, and look at an opportunity which is giving you both status in society as well as money. If you're looking for a change in job or career is getting activated because Ketu will be transiting through your 5th house. Okay, so definitely this is an opportunity for you to relook at if any changes in your status in society or status will be connected to work, because Ketu is also aspecting your Lagna. Now for Gemini rising sign people, again, as Saturn will be transiting through your Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, so it being a Artha Nakshatra, so your Artha Bhava, the 2nd house, the 6th house and the 10th house are all getting activated. But what it means by these 3 houses getting activated is that depending on where your moon is placed in your natal chart, where your Mars is placed and where your Jupiter is placed, those results may combine strongly for you. However, Jupiter being transiting through your Taurus sign through the 12th house and Rahu transiting through your 10th house, surely this is a fantastic period for Gemini sign people to get connected to foreign lands, foreign occupations, foreign companies, earning from foreign lands, earning from anything related to something very far away from your place of birth. All these are getting activated. So money is getting activated. Opportunities of enhancement in your career are getting activated also. Then Saturn aspecting the 11th house, but in the debilitation sign of Aries, which means you may have a challenge connected to your social network. There may be friends or even people in different departments within your company where if you are too dependent on them, or if you lend out money, money may not come by. So be very careful to keep a tight lid on giving off money or loaning money to people. Then when Saturn transits first through Aries sign, your 11th house, friends, social circle, spending time with them. But again, as I said, be careful of how much are you giving away during that period. Then when Saturn transits through your Taurus sign, 12th house is getting activated, foreign lands, money from MNC companies is getting activated, gains from foreign lands is getting activated. Those opportunities may come by. Then when Saturn transits through the Gemini Pada or the third Pada of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra or the Gemini Navamsa, this is where you may think twice before taking up any opportunities, because of you may not be very sure whether a certain project is good for you, certain opportunity is good for you, a certain action is good for you. And you may be thinking twice because it is also connected to the Lagna, your status in society, your standing in society, your respect, your dignity. So unless you're very sure, many times Saturn may put a binding factor on you rather than giving you the courage to go ahead. So it's always good to double check and to be sure before you take a decision. But when you take it with all energy. Then when Saturn transits through the Cancer sign and in the second house, that's when it's going to activate money, which means stability in money, increment, increase in money with an opportunity of better service may also come by to you, which is coming next year, end of March to April. Then for Cancer rising sign people, Saturn is transiting through your 8th house. Saturn is very protective in the 8th house. However, Saturn will be aspecting the Aries sign, that is the first pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra being a nakshatra of Artha, of materialism. So your second house, your 6th house and 10th house are getting activated. However, Saturn from the 8th house of obstacles aspecting your 10th house in the Aries sign of debilitation, which means Saturn may not allow easy growth, easy progress, easy promotion, and Saturn may put in obstacles. However, if you have really worked hard over the last 1 year, so only those Cancer rising sign people will get a good opportunity rising up over others who have really worked hard. And because the Artha Bhavas are getting activated, this rise may also come with a stable income, stable job, and even with a very good brand, even a multinational brand. So very few people, Cancer rising people, are getting lucky. But if you are getting lucky and if you're among those, then a very good period, very good 1 year for you. Saturn, when it transits through your 10th house, it's activating career, it's activating promotion, it is activating growth. Then when it transits through the Taurus sign, over Jupiter, it is activating friendships, new connections, and these new connections may be very good for you long term. And if you have really worked hard on your social connections, in your interdepartment connections, these can come handy for you, and this can be very useful for you to do projects. So interdepartment connections may be useful for you, friendships may be useful for you, and relations may also come by for you if you're not in the relationship through friendships, because Saturn also rules the 7th house. So if you are in a relationship with some friend, then you may want to fructify it or take it forward. Then when Saturn transits through your 12th house, through the Gemini Pada, Gemini Navamsa of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, this is a period when you may rethink about your expenses. How much am I spending? Am I spending too much? Am I saving enough? If you're going to foreign land, should I take this opportunity? If you're working for an MNC, is this the right company for you? For me, is this the right brand for me? So you will think, you may even lose some sleep, overthinking, but don't need to worry too much about it, because this is the passing phase, and you can be guaranteed stability during Saturn's transit through the Gemini sign or the third pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. And then lastly, when Saturn transits through the Cancer sign, which is going to be fag end of the year from March next year to April, and this is a period where it is going to activate the best stable results for you, especially from a relationship front. Those people who want to do business, partnerships are getting engaged, especially because Ketu is transiting through a third house of efforts. And Rahu is transiting through Pisces sign, but 9th house of long distance travel and gains. So gains may be coming by for you when Saturn transit through a Cancer sign, because Jupiter very strong in the 11th house of the money sign of Taurus, and Rahu being in the Pisces sign, activating Jupiter and aspecting the Lagna. So very good period, maybe fag end of the year, but very good auspicious period for Cancer rising sign people. Then for Leo rising sign people, with Saturn transiting through its own sign, the Mool Trikona sign in the 7th house, partnerships are getting activated, marriage, relationships are getting activated. And because Saturn also is passing through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, and Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra being a nakshatra of Artha, materialism, so the 2nd house, the 6th house and the 10th house are strongly getting activated, with Jupiter being in the 10th house. So this is, and Jupiter aspecting both your 2nd house as well as your 6th house. So this is a very, very good period for Leo rising sign people, because what is happening is Jupiter is activating career and growth in career. Jupiter is expanding earning potential. But what may happen, the one opportunity may come by for you, which is a very good opportunity from money perspective, may not be very good for a career perspective in terms of your role, in terms of growth, in terms of designation. So you may really be enticed to take up the opportunity, but my suggestion is, if you hold on, if you don't fall only for money, then long term it's better to look for a suitable role rather than money. Why? Because Ketu is transiting through a 2nd house, which is through the money house, earning potential. So it's always better to focus more on role, growth, designation, brand rather than money when the opportunity comes for you. Overall, however, very good period for Leo rising sign people. With Saturn first transiting through Aries sign, which is its debilitation sign, so long distance travel may not bring very auspicious results for you. However, when Saturn transits over Jupiter in your Taurus sign, that may be the most stable period for you, where it is going to activate new opportunities coming for you. When Saturn transits through the 3rd pada, the Gemini sign pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, it is going to activate long-term stable relations, stable friendships also for you. And when Saturn transits through the 12th house of or activating the 12th house when it transits through the Cancer pada, 4th pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, then foreign lands, foreign areas, spouse getting connected to foreign lands, spouse, meeting spouse abroad. For those people who are already abroad, all these signs or placements are getting activated. So very good year for Leo rising sign people. My suggestion to them would be, look at partnerships, look at relationship, look at strengthening your social network, and look at an opportunity which is more based on role, growth rather than money. Then this period or this year can be a very auspicious year for you. Now for Virgo rising sign people, as we know that Saturn will be transiting through the different padas of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, and the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra is the nakshatra of Artha. So the Artha Bhavas, or the material houses of the 2nd, 6th and the 10th house are getting activated. Now why it is important is because Saturn is transiting through one of the Artha Bhavas itself in the sign of Aquarius, is a Mool Trikona sign, by also ruling the 5th house. So this year the money is getting connected to, one part is change in career, change in job, because Saturn rules the 5th house. The 5th house is the 8th to the 10th house and going through the 6th house. So this could be a period where you may want a change in career, look at new opportunities, join new organizations, new companies. However, because the 5th lord is getting into the 6th house, you may get into trouble with higher up, with higher superiors also. Why superiors? Authority figures. Because the other Artha Bhavas which is getting activated is the 10th house, but in the Gemini sign, which means you will be in two minds whether should I take this opportunity, should I sustain here, should I raise my hand if there are any challenges, should I raise my voice, should I stand up for what I believe in. So these are going to be double thoughts. So this 1 year is going to be slightly tricky from a career point of view, surely, especially because Saturn is also aspecting your Aries sign in your 8th house of upheavals, obstacles, challenges. The good thing for you is going to be with Rahu transiting through the Pisces sign and Jupiter transiting through the 9th house. So a second relationship, if for those people who have been married or single, second relationship is getting activated. Or if you have been in a relationship which is broken, even if you have not been married, then the second long-term good relationship is also getting activated. However, be very sure of the kind of person that person is, and because of Saturn's aspect on the 8th house. So be careful of what decisions you're making, because Ketu is translating through your Lagna. However, when Saturn first transits through your 8th house, surely obstacles, challenges, upheavals. However, the best period will come when Saturn will be transiting with Jupiter and activating relationship also, partnerships also, long distance travel also, relationship coming from long distance travel also. Then when Saturn transits through the Gemini Pada or the third Pada of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, it means that the career is getting activated, and if you are very careful of what decisions you take, and you think through the decision and you think long term rather than short term, then stable career may come by for you, stable opportunity may come by for you. And then when Saturn transits through your Cancer Pada or the fourth Pada of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, activating your 11th house in your natal chart, which means new connections, new friendships, new associations may also happen for you, which may be long term very useful, very successful for you. However, be very careful of what long-term associations are forming, especially in romantic liaisons, especially with Saturn translating through the 6th house, which may become troublesome long-term for you. For Libra rising sign people, Saturn will be translating through your 5th house and aspecting your 7th house. Now, one important factor is when Saturn will be translating through your Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is the Artha Nakshatra, which means the Artha Bhavas or the material houses, the 2nd, 6th and the 10th house are getting activated. However, the 2nd house also Scorpio sign. So, Mars is getting activated, and how Mars is placed in your natal chart will give those kinds of results for you, especially because Saturn will be aspecting the other sign of Mars, which is the Aries sign in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So this year, be very, very careful what relationships you get into, what partnerships you get into, because opportunities of partnership, of relationships may come by to you. There is a chance that whichever relationship you are in may even break. So be very careful of how to handle the current relationship, especially if you're not married. If you are just dating somebody, then this is surely a period of big trouble in your relationship, surely. Especially with Rahu going through your 6th house, which is the 12th to the 7th house, and through the Pisces sign, giving you misled or misleading communication also. When Saturn will transit through Aries sign, that's when your relationships are getting activated. The first few months of Saturn's transit through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. However, when Saturn transits through your Taurus sign or the Taurus Pada, the 2nd Pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, activating your 8th house but over Jupiter. So yeah, it's giving you an opportunity of good gains from your self-effort, because Jupiter also rules the 3rd house, as well as in service, especially connected to taxation, auditing, IT services and all. When Saturn transits to the 3rd Pada, the Gemini Pada or the Gemini Navamsa, is going to activate your 9th house here. However, this is giving you good results in long-term studies, so higher learning. If you've really worked hard over the last few years, then if specifically for higher learning, this is a good period to do your masters, is a good period to do your PhDs, is a good period, and also meeting somebody through your learning, through your education, especially if you're a young person. If you're not dating, then you may meet somebody and that romance may blossom also for you. When Saturn transits through the Cancer sign or the 4th Pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, the Cancer Navamsa, your career is getting activated very, very strongly. However, try and avoid looking at opportunities of going abroad unless you're very, very sure that the opportunity is good for you, because of Ketu being placed in the 12th house in transit. That is going to create an activity or an opportunity of going abroad, but be very careful before you take up the opportunity long term. So however, my suggestion to Libra sign people will be relook at how you are looking at partnerships, relationship. Relook at what industries you're working, because some of the industries which are getting activated are the 8th house, the taxation, auditing, accounts, IT industry, health, manufacturing, all are getting activated. And also relook at how career opportunities are coming, but this is more in domestic arena rather than foreign lands. Now for Scorpio rising sign people, we have Saturn, which will be transiting or is transiting through your 4th house and continue transiting within the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in the 4th house itself. However, the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra is an Artha Nakshatra, which is a Nakshatra of materialism. So the material house or the Artha Bhavas, 2nd, 6th and 10th house are getting activated. So money is getting activated. However, money sign or the money house, the 2nd house, but in the Sagittarius sign. So this is connecting money with long distance travel, higher learning, higher education also. With Saturn transiting through the 4th house, any new learning that you had this year may be very useful for you, and that opportunity may be given to you. However, Saturn is aspecting with the 3rd house, with the 3rd aspect, the 6th house and the Aries sign where it gets debilitated. So service surely will be something where you'll have to work really, really hard to get stable results, because the other Hatha Bhava which is getting activated is the 10th house in the Leo sign. So where you take more leadership, more responsibility, better career results, better projects may be given to you. When Saturn transits through the Aries Pada, the first Pada, Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, that's when service is getting activated. However, inimical forces acting behind your back is getting activated. Then when Saturn transits through the Taurus Pada, the second Pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, relationships are getting activated. These are surely very strong signs of wedding bells for those people who are in the long-term committed relationship. Then relationship will be fructified for you, especially for women, because Jupiter being the Karaka of husband also for you. Then when Saturn transits through the Gemini sign, through the 8th house, you may be in double thought, dual mindset. Some upheavals, some sudden challenges may make you think about expenses, about your career. And be careful of what associations you get into, what friendships you make because of Ketu being in the 11th house in the Virgo sign. Because what is going to happen is when Saturn transits through your Gemini sign, then your Mercury being also the Lord of the 11th house, this is also getting activated, which means any association, new association that you get into, new projects that you get into, new partnership may bring obstacles and upheaval. So be very careful of what new contracts you get into, what new agreements that you get into, what connections you get into, especially with friends or your social circle. Then when Saturn transits through the 4th Pada, the Cancer Pada and the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, activating the 9th house, long distance travel, spiritual travel for education is also getting activated during that period. For Sagittarius rising sign people, this is a good period because Saturn is transiting through your 3rd house, activating self-effort. This is a good period for any self-enterprise, self-projects that you're doing, even doing something of your own. Now, I'm not saying quit your jobs and do something of your own. However, start thinking. If you're not in a stable job, then rethink. Why? Because Saturn's 3rd aspect is falling in the 5th house, which is the 8th to the 10th house, but in the sign of Aries where it gets debilitated. So rather than change in career or job, before you take up any new opportunity, also rethink on, should I do something of my own? Should I do consulting? Should I start something on YouTube or on the social media? Rethink on this, because this could be a good period for money. Why? Because Saturn's transit through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, it's a nakshatra of Artha, materialism. And your material houses, the 2nd, 6th and the 10th house are getting activated. So, on your own, if you do something, money may come in slowly over a period of time. Because of Ketu transiting through your 10th house, there is no growth or career opportunity surely this year. So you may relook at whether you want to continue in your career or your job, especially if it's not giving you good results. However, if your job is stable, if your career is stable, then don't rock the boat. Keep the job stable for you at least through the year till the end of next year, when Saturn will be transiting the last phase over the Cancer Navamsa of the 4th Pada. So money is surely activated this year. Career is getting activated. Career potentials are coming. New opportunities are also coming. Why new opportunities? Because Jupiter is transiting through the money sign of Taurus through your 6th house of service, aspecting your 10th house, where Ketu is placed, and Ketu is bringing about a change in the status quo. Now, when Saturn transits through your Aries sign, romance is getting activated, change in job is getting activated, change doing something of your own is getting activated. When Saturn transits through your 6th house or through the Taurus Navamsa or the 2nd Pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, service is getting activated, especially connected to pharmaceuticals, connected to hospitals, connected to manufacturing, connected to law enforcement, legal services, connected to sitting in competitive exam, connected to government, administration. All these are getting activated because Saturn will be transiting over Jupiter, which is transiting through the Taurus sign. Then when Saturn transits over Gemini sign over the 7th house, that's when you may rethink both about the career as well as the relationship or in a team. Somebody in your team may be a troublemaker, so watch out. Keep very good relations with your team members through the year. Otherwise, it may have a bearing on how the superiors see you at work. They may not see you as a team member if you create trouble in your work arena, in your team. However, this is a good placement of getting married for those people who are abroad, because Rahu is transiting through your Pisces sign, which is the 12th house, natural 12th house of the Kalpurush Kundi, activating results of going abroad or even marrying abroad or meeting a spouse abroad also. And then lastly, when Saturn transits through your Cancer sign, the 4th pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, the last phase of the year between March and April, that's when some challenges may come for you because Saturn will be aspecting Ketu with its third aspect in terms of a change. So last 2 or 3 months from March 20 May next year, be very stable. Don't try for any change. Keep it stable. Keep it stagnant. If there is no new opportunity, if there is no big opportunity coming your way. Then for Capricorn rising sign people, Saturn will be transiting through your second house in the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is the nakshatra of Artha, materialism. So Saturn will be activating the second house with a transit as well, your 6th house, which is also Artha Bhava, materialism house, and the 10th house, which is also Artha Bhava or house of materialism. So money is getting activated. However, Saturn transiting through the second house in the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which means you will rethink about money. Expenses have been very high over the year, last year. So this year, whole year, you will be focusing on keeping the purse strings tight. You will be looking at how do I increase my bank balance? What kind of job should I take up in new opportunity where my bank balance may increase, my financial security may be increasing. So you may be looking at investments, you may be looking at financial investments, financial security and new career opportunities also. So through the year, money is getting activated, new opportunities are getting activated, especially change and career is also getting activated because Jupiter is transiting through the 5th house, which is the 8th to the 10th house. So this is surely a good period for you, especially when Saturn will transit through the Taurus pada, the second pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. That's when it is also activating a very sure opportunity or new opportunity may come by for you. But be careful of when you take the opportunity because change may seem very good on paper. So you'll have to be very careful because that change may come in where the focus will be on team effort, how much of a team person you are. If you are really a team person and if you take up responsibility, leadership, then you will do very well through the year. Then when Saturn transits through the third pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra over Gemini sign, that's when you may have some doubts about your current service, the current job that you're doing. Especially if your job is connected to banking, accounts, any services that you do like spas or any services that you do in legal services, police services. There you may rethink about, am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right job? Am I earning enough? Because Saturn's transit is through the second house, through the Aquarius sign, through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, but different padas activating the different signs. And when then Saturn transits through the Cancer sign, the last fag end, it's going to activate relationship. Now be very careful of what relationship that you get into or you commit because Saturn's focus or aspect, third aspect through the year is going to be on the 4th house of domestic life. So getting into a married life or committed life, moving into a live-in relationship may also not be the best period for you. So be very careful unless you're absolutely sure. Don't get married this year or don't make a commitment, or if you make a commitment, at least don't legalize it this year. You can legalize it only from next year, April onwards. For Aquarius rising sign people, Saturn will be transiting through your Lagna itself through different padas within the Aquarius sign through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra being an Artha Nakshatra, so the Artha or the material houses, the 2nd, 6th and the 10th house are getting activated. So very good results are coming by, especially with Rahu going through the 2nd house of foreign service. Foreign lands, income from foreign lands is strongly getting activated because Saturn also rules your 12th house. So those people who have aspirations of going abroad or already working in MNC, surely a good period for you to put up a hand and ask for increments, ask for new opportunities, ask for growth. Why growth? Because out of the 3 Artha Bhavas, the 3rd Artha Bhava is the 10th house. Growth opportunity, change may also come because the 10th house is where the Scorpio sign is. And Scorpio sign getting activated, which means change is getting activated, and the change may be good because Jupiter transiting through Taurus sign, it will be aspecting your 10th house. So very good period for you. So Artha Bhavas getting activated means change, increment, growth, all are getting activated. Long-term stability is getting activated. A good period for Aquarius sign people. However, when Saturn transits first through the Aries sign, that's where you may have to work very hard those 2-3 months will be very difficult. Then when Saturn transits through the Taurus Pada, the second Pada within the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, activating the Taurus Navamsa, but over Taurus sign, over natal Jupiter. So relationships are getting activated, but real estate investments, home, construction, buying a property is also getting activated. Then when Saturn transits through the Gemini sign over the 5th house, any new relationship that you are into or a new opportunity to get into a relationship may come, but you may have doubts about it, or you may have the new attraction may create doubts in your current relationship, current romantic liaison also. So be very careful. If you already are dating somebody, if you're in love with somebody, don't allow this new attraction to get the better of you. Then you will fall into trouble. Unnecessary issues may come by for you. So be very careful when Saturn's transit through the third pada within the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra is coming, because romance is getting activated and being dual minded is also getting activated. If you get into a relationship with somebody, it may be very short-lived, 3, 4, 5, 6 months before you start having doubts about that relationship also. So be very careful when those new opportunities come by. And lastly, when Saturn transits through the fourth pada within the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, but the Cancer Navamsa, activating your 6th house of service. So service is getting activated, new jobs are getting activated, but also you may have to work very hard to overcome a lot of competition, a lot of people who are vying for the same position to be able to get an opportunity. So overall, a good period for Aquarius sign people. My suggestion to them would be try to consolidate this year in terms of earning, especially connected to foreign lands, consolidate in terms of relationship, and consolidate in terms of work, because your work arena has Scorpio sign getting activated. So a change is surely on the cards. For Pisces sign, rising sign people, Saturn will be transiting through your 12th house, and within the 12th house, within the Aquarius sign through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, a nakshatra of Artha, materialism. So it is going to activate the 3 other material houses, the 2nd house, the 6th house, and the 10th house. Now the 2nd house is important because Saturn's transit throughout the year, the 3rd aspect is on the 2nd house, but it is debulation sign of Aries, which means money is going to be the focus throughout the year. Expenses may be high, money coming in may be stagnant or almost the same money coming in, but inflation is surely not going to stop. So this whole year you are going to keep the purse strings tight, or you are focused on keeping expenses low and try to save. So you may try to save. However, what may happen that from time to time suddenly new expenses may come where you save some money, but suddenly you have to loosen the purse strings, then you have to spend. So be very careful of how you spend, because the Rahu is going through your Lagna in transit over Pisces sign, which is the 12th house of the Kalpurush. So there is no saving period, no grace period for you to focus on or save money. So for Pisces rising sign people, surely money, savings, increments, spending is the focus through the year. Now the other 2 Artha Bhavas getting activated, which means the 6th house but the Leo sign, which means increment may happen if you take leadership or accountability or responsibility through the year, as well as when you're looking at new learning opportunities or growth opportunities, or you take a project which will help you in long-term stability also. So you may be given an opportunity by your higher-ups, by your superiors, by authority figures that take up a new project. The new project, you may have to learn a little bit, you may have to acclimatize yourself, but long-term it may bring good stability for you in terms of money also. Now when Saturn first transits to the first pada of the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, the first few months may be very tight on money. Then when Saturn goes through or transits through the 2nd pada of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra over the Taurus Navamsa, but over Jupiter transiting through Taurus, this is the best period for you to look at how through your self-effort, through your influencing ability, through your marketing ability, through your communication skills, you may do very, very well. So this is a very good period for those people who work for themselves rather than somebody else. So good period for those people who are consultants, who are on social media, who are running their own business, who are working out of home. A very good period for you. Then when Saturn transits through the Gemini sign but over the 4th house, so here you may rethink about investments, you may rethink about home, you may rethink about home construction, you may rethink about home improvement. You may also rethink about some appliances that you need to buy, some new conveniences you need to buy. Good period for you also. However, because it is the Gemini sign, you may be dual-minded. Should I buy this appliance or that appliance? Should I buy this house or that house? Should I do this improvement or that improvement? Or should I marry this person or that person? Should I marry at all or no? Should I keep the marriage postponed for next day. All these doubts are going to come for you in domestic life, home also. However, it's still a good period. If you're absolutely sure about a relationship, go for it. If you're absolutely sure for an investment, go for it. Saturn's transit through the Gemini sign is a auspicious period, a good period. However, if you are not keen for a relationship, then keep away, because Ketu is transiting through your 7th house, which is also ruled by Mercury, which also rules your Gemini sign. So unless you're absolutely sure of getting into a relationship, keep away from a relationship, especially if committing or getting into a legal one if you're dating. Then when Saturn transits in the fag end of the year to the 4th pada of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, to the Cancer Navamsa, then look at where Moon is placed in your natal chart. Romance is strongly getting activated and getting into an emotional relationship, which may not be good long term for you unless Saturn is very, very well placed for Pisces ascendant natives in your natal chart. If Saturn is not very well placed, then this may be a short term relationship, just few months, and that may die out, but create a lot of emotional havoc for you. So be very careful the fag end of the year between March and May, unless you are absolutely sure. For those people who are already married and looking at increasing their family, a new addition to their family is also on the cards. So my suggestion to Pisces rising sign people is that focus on earnings, focus on spending less money, focus on trying to increase your bank balance, and try, for those people who are on your own or doing something of your own, work very hard, because this is the most auspicious period for stabilizing results. You may not get very great opportunities for growth, but definitely the best period for people who work for themselves, consultants on the social media, for long-term stable development, stable opportunity, stable growth as well. So friends, now that we have seen Saturn's transit through the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, different 4 padas, Aries, Taurus, Gemini and Cancer. The padas for you, Cancer Navamsas for you, will activate different houses for you. Also keep in mind, this is to a large extent based on where Saturn is placed, where Jupiter is placed in your natal chart, rather than just looking at the generic placements in this particular transit. So focus overall looking at the big picture, also looking at my earlier video, also looking at Jupiter's transit through Taurus, and also looking at the placements of Jupiter, Saturn and Rahu and Ketu and other planets, rising sign, Lagna Lord also in your natal chart, before looking at what are the best opportunities or results coming for you in the next year. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the link given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.